Hey, what's up, everybody? Hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend. For those of you who celebrate Easter, I hope it's a wonderful time for you guys to get together with family, friends, celebrate such a special occasion. With all that being said, I noticed today on my notifications, Alejandro dropped a new music video called "It's Okay to Cry." Let's give it a listen together, and I'll give you my honest opinion.
It's okay to cry. Can you tell that I really miss you? I could try, I need you all night. Every day I'm sailing high tide, swerving out like a billion surfers. Search the web in the universe for the love you've given. My angel falling from heaven. Oh my God, I'm ready. Oh my God, I'm ready to die in your arms of love. Forget what your father told you when you were young. It's okay to cry.
So, relatively short. It felt like 357, actually a little bit longer than what, after listening to it, what I initially had thought. But okay. So obviously, and I've had to say this many a times, I'm a huge fan. Um, that really helped with a lot of, and I don't have a ton of, but with the subscribers I do have, they all, I would guarantee all of them subscribe because of my reviews of Alejandro. Um, and one thing that I always want any subscribers, anybody who has listened to me talk about music or talk about him in specific, um, one thing that I've always wanted to make very clear, because I had to do this with my own band that I had put together, and it's not a band; it was a group in a genre of music that I really didn't care that much for. I'm looking at it from a business aspect, obviously, and what are your jobs? Usually hinge on is your performance or your ability to uh, put your product out there for everybody else to, see, to listen to find out, like, hey, is this going to be the next, Eminem? Or is this going to be the next, 50 Cent? Is this going to be the next, Backstreet Boys or NSYNC? Or is this a new defining genre all on its own? And I get that ever since American Idol, you know, the route that he was taking was in line with what the show does. And he stated it himself constantly, it takes him out of his element. His music wasn't or never has been like that of anything or anyone else on the show before. So when all of this, when people who never listened to him outside of the show heard his music, they were like, huh, it's quite different. It's quite unique. And it's just, what is music? It's an expression of yourself, If you're making music that only you are listening to, then yeah, you are definitely expressing yourself in a whole different manner, as opposed to, you're expressing yourself and then you're putting it out there for others to listen to. No matter who you are, you could have been the biggest star in the world from, let's say, and mind you, I never, ever, ever talk about people's personal life. If they're not here to defend themselves, or if they're not here to, kind of, let's say, clear the air, per se, their personal life has absolutely nothing to do with it in my mind. So anytime I talk about music or musicians, I'm just talking about music and musicians. I don't care what the hell's going on in their personal life. That's gossip. I stay away from that shit. It's poison. So mind you, I'm only talking about the music. And when, I hear a song like this, he is showing, and, there's wording, and he's kind of giving an explanation as the song goes on. That's quite different. He's sharing with, his audience, this is what I felt, during this time. This is why, and I get that, somebody who went through a really bad divorce. Now, mind you, for as crazy as it might sound, my divorce, I really didn't care about losing my ex-wife. I was hardly in love with her to begin with. But what I was losing out on was, here I have a young daughter that we just, she was 5 months old, and my dog. The two things that I loved, and then just getting used to the everyday things. And when I lost all that, I went through extreme depression, and that was one person that I always try to find that, the positive before the negative. I grew up very fat, as I've mentioned in many of my videos, but I was athletic. When I decided, I don't want to pursue, this any further, and I dropped a walk-on for a college, which was actually ended up being one of the better things that I could have ever have done. Come to find out, here I had like a broken back, fractures. And of course that even gave me more depression. And then, the ups and downs of a divorce, with financial crap, with, this belongs to me, this belongs to that. I basically just bowed down, and I'm like, here, take it, because I don't want to deal with this crap right now. I'm already sad enough as it is, missing a single, day of my and I shouldn't say my, but of our daughter's life, and then losing time with my dog, who absolutely would chose me 100 times out of 100 times, because she was so the type to, like, used to piss me off. He was trained to actually be an aid dog. That's how far, she took it. And I said, I want him to be a dog. I want him to be happy. I want him to live his life. And with me, he could do that. He would listen if I said, here, come here, heel. He would be right there, beside me the way he was supposed to be. But I didn't need him to be this robot 24/7. She did. So if we're there eating and he's watching us eating, drooling a little bit because he's hungry, he used to be able to eat when we ate. I know I'm going way off topic here, but I'm just kind of giving you an example of what brought on my anxiety and my depression. And, he's sitting there drooling. The rule was he always ate when we ate. So I'd be like, go ahead. And as he would go, she would go and get up and slap him in his snout. And oh my God, like one thing I cannot endure whatsoever is people who, put their hands on children or animals. I totally get hunting, totally understand it. It's not for me, but I understand it. I know that it's important to the environment, to the ecosystem, but it's just something that, I personally would not want to be part of. And I know that's different from, just having your dog like another child. But she robbed me of the things that I love the most. So it made it very easy for me not to care about her, but it brought a lot of depression, a lot of anxiety. I became, a recluse, just keeping myself indoors all the time. And the times that I got to see my babies, I just, I valued those times. And when it was gone, having to wait another, couple weeks, I was just a mess. So I totally get I totally understand what it's like to feel what he has felt, of course, from different aspects, because he's made a name for himself. His music has been, he has made some fantastic songs. But one thing that brought me into this whole rant is this: in the music industry, I cannot possibly have liked my own group that hinged on me being compensated to live, just a normal life, to have money to feed, to put food on the table, to pay my bills. And no matter how much I try to just like certain things that they were doing, I also had to be a realist and say, this was hit or miss, and on this particular release right here, it was a miss. And that's how I feel about this song. I've listened to it several times before I made this video. And what could be, and mind you, he is a music prodigy. I've said it 100 times, and he's gonna, I feel that he has even more to grow, more to learn, for as crazy as that sounds. But at times, especially with this one, something that is such it's not a linear type of path, but he just tries to do so much with it that it just kind of lost me on the feeling that I know I would get. I could listen to a song and easily start like tearing up and welling up because I could relate with it so much. And for him, I know he could bring that out of people. And listening to it, it really was everything he was trying to do in the background. And I get it from what everybody's going to tell me. Yes, he does like to experiment, try this, try that, try that, try this. But at the same time, and again, I will quote, what Katy Perry said, you don't forget to also allow what people around you who know and, who are in the music industry, whatever they're telling you, allow it to also nurture you and what you do and what you see. And, I want to see him grasp onto that, because you don't want to lose artist integrity. But at the same time, if you keep on doing something that sounds similar to the last, you're not really growing with the times. And that's, again, this is just my opinion. because it could have been so much better if it just wasn't so much going on in the background. Um, Again, beautiful voice. I could hear the auto tune, which that doesn't bother me now because he's already proven how hell of a good of a singer he is, and that auto tune, I'm sure, just is gonna fit in with what he wants, what he's hoping to accomplish with the song. But it's definitely a different route that he took than what I think a lot of people might have been, you know, suspecting or hoping for. It was just too much going on for me personally. Um, so far to date, most of all my reviews of him have been, positive. I mean, all his songs that I've listened to and that I have spoken about on here have been, in the 80 to 100% range, likes I would give it or whatever. I mean, this is the first one I would have to say is subpar, in my opinion. Again, um, do I expect people to agree with me? No, but if it just because you can criticize a band or a member of a band who release a solo does not mean that all of a sudden you dislike them. I don't know why this is all. There we go. But everybody who's out there in the public eye are always going to be, you know, expected to top what they did last. And sometimes that happens, sometimes that doesn't. I mean, Michael Jackson has released some really crappy songs. Metallica has released crappy songs. Eminem went through 3 albums releasing crappy songs. Um, Everybody does it. It doesn't take away from their skill set. It doesn't take away from what they are capable of and from what they will do, because this is not, career defining, type of song. It was something that probably a project that was close to his heart, and he did what he did with it, and that's great. As long as he loved it and enjoyed it, and he felt comfortable in releasing it, which he did. Hey, as long as he likes it, that's all that matters. But as a fan, it's definitely something that, I've listened to it like 7 or 8 times before I even made a video about it today, and it just was released like 6 hours ago, 7 hours ago or so, somewhere around there. And I've been listening to it, trying to find, a glimmer of light there, and thinking, my boy's done better than this. So yeah, it's what I feel more to be a personal project, and personal feelings involved. So yeah, that's my opinion. If I were to give it, if I were to have to rate it 1 through 100, I would have to say like 36, maybe 40. But I've heard and I know he's capable of a lot more, and it's not a bash on him, because he's still one phenomenal artist. And like I said, this isn't gonna define him. This is just a passion project, and doing it for somebody that he cares about and experiencing the same things on his own. And like I said, with me being able to relate from working in the industry, from strenuous times in the music industry that really did give me anxiety, from a divorce that was totally just up, and really caused me to have, and I was always and have always been like a very outgoing, likable person that just loves life and this and that. You talk about depression, that was something I was never used to, and going through it is just, oh my God. I hope, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. So I wish I could have connected with the song. I really do. And I think he has a lot. I think he has, definitely something better in the tank. But if we're just going off of his personality and what he wants to do, that wouldn't be fair. Because any musician or artist opens himself up to, to conversations of, why would they have done this? It doesn't sound great, or oh, that was phenomenal. He let his, feelings, hang out there on his sleeve. He wears his heart on his sleeve. I get all that. But if I'm just going off the music and music alone, yeah, it wasn't his best. So, like always, share your thoughts and opinions with me. Like I said, it's just one person's one opinion. If you guys loved it, that's awesome. Let me know what you loved about it. So yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys, once again, enjoy your Easter if you celebrate it. I hope you have fun with your family, friends, loved ones. And yeah, feel free to reach out to me and tell me what you think. Tell me why you feel like I might be wrong or if there was something I'm missing, because I'm sure I did. So, until that time and until next time, yeah, I'm out, but I'm sure I'll be listening to you hopefully here pretty soon, guys. I always look forward to your thoughts and opinions, all right? So, peace out.
It's okay.